Hello, great morning, everyone. Um, it's a sad morning. Yesterday, I covered the Gabby Petito case, and I guess I was hoping for a better turnout than what happened. Um, it is September the 20th. Yesterday, on September 19th, I believe they found the body. They found a body in the Teton Park area, National Park, around 12 Mountain Time yesterday. And it took them a while. The coroner showed up on the scene. Once the coroner showed up, the search dogs, like 10 minutes later, they were gone. So it took them a while, but the FBI gave a briefing yesterday around 4 p.m. and um, said that remains were found. They didn't say a body. They said the words out of the FBI mouth was remains were found, and the description of the remains matched those of Gabby Petito. And the FBI was so broken up, so taken aback that he almost cried. And I've never seen that before. But this case, it touched the world in such a quick time. It's such a sad case because, she went on a cross country trip um, with the love of her life. They were engaged to be married, and then this turns out. And allegedly, we'll say that, um, we don't know if it was Brian Laundrie. We really don't know. And the FBI or law enforcement has not issued a warrant out for Brian Laundrie. Right now, they're still looking for Brian Laundrie, and it is still a missing persons report. But from the information I gathered, it was because the reason why they're not issuing a warrant right now is because they want to make sure their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed. They need to follow everything by the book because if and when this case goes to trial, they want to make sure that it sticks and that nothing could be thrown out, nothing could be, that whatever things that they're throwing at Brian Laundrie, if he did this, that it would stick. Right now, the whereabouts of Brian Laundrie are still unknown. He is still, we don't know where Brian Laundrie is. And there was some new evidence that came, well, not new evidence, but new information that came out yesterday that Brian Laundrie left for the park nearby, I guess. I don't know exactly where it is, but he left for this forest, this park, this camping place. And on last Tuesday, he left. And his parents hadn't seen him or anything. So they went out to the place where he said he was going to be at. When they got there, there was a note on the car. I believe, I can't remember the exact day they went out there, but when they got out there, there was a note on the car from the police officer stating that the car needed to be moved. So they went back, his parents returned back last Thursday to this park. The note was still there, the car was still there. So they brought the car back home. Y'all, how silly is this? Number one, it doesn't make sense. If your son is at a park, you don't know where his whereabouts are. From the last time that you heard is he was at the park. Why would you take his vehicle? That makes absolutely no sense. Take the vehicle where his cell phone was in the vehicle. So if he wanted to contact someone, he couldn't. If he needed a ride home, he couldn't get a ride home. So that in itself is questionable. It's suspect to me. I'm not an attorney. I'm not, but to me, it is suspect. Instead of you going to look for your son, or you not knowing, or you being worried about where he is, you take his car and bring it home because it had a note on it. What? That's weird to me. So the next evening, they call the police and report him missing. Come on, y'all. This doesn't add up. I don't know how his parents play a role in this whole case, but I'm sure it's going to be brought out in the days to come, in the months to come, or whenever this trial takes place, whenever. But I pray that he did not do anything to himself. He didn't try to commit suicide or anything like that. I pray that he is brought in and the authorities gather enough evidence to charge him as swiftly as possible. Now, since Gabby Petito remains were found yesterday, that identified, the coroner came. So autopsy has to be done. Here's the thing. I heard several news outlets of different attorneys were saying that if she had any type of substance, like, there's a lot of people dying of drug overdose. So they have to test to see if she may have possibly died of a drug overdose. They have to determine the cause of death. Okay. Just because she is deceased does not mean there is not enough evidence in those remains to determine the cause of death. They still can have the toxicology and all that kind of stuff. Also, a warrant for his arrest will come once the cause of death is determined. It should take between 24 hours. So we should be hearing something today, the cause of death of Gabby Petito. And once the cause of death, like, there's no doubt in my mind that he will be arrested. I mean, there'll be a warrant out for his arrest because we still don't know where Brian Laundrie is. But there's another thing brought out, obviously it wasn't a gunshot wound because gunshot wounds are very evident. So that leads you to believe he could not have been responsible, maybe, possibly, I don't know, for the other two hikers' death that died around August 13th. That came up missing, those two women in Moab. So he possibly couldn't because they died of gunshot wounds. But it could not have been a gunshot wound because if it was, the authorities would have been able to determine that right on site when they identified those remains. So, was it strangulation? Who knows? So they're going to have to check the hyoid bone to see if that bone is intact. Great one. Hey, you stop that. So they're going to have to check the hyoid bone to make sure. Go in the room, baby. Go in the room. It's in the room.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, I don't see it.
Look on the headboard of the bed. But they're going to have to check the hyoid bone to make sure it is in check. It's not broken or anything from strangulation. So that's the main thing they're doing now is gathering evidence, trying to make a strong case against, allegedly, Brian Laundrie. Brian Laundrie was the last person to see her alive, and he's the only one besides God that knows what happened to Gabby Petito. So the FBI, the authorities, have the van that they were traveling in. Another thing that was brought out that I thought was really, really interesting, well, two things that was brought out, and I think that's probably how they narrowed it down where to find Gabby Petito. Well, there was a couple that was in the Teton Park, and their dash cam picked up Brian Laundrie's, well, one Brian Laundrie's is Gabby Petito's van, but spotted the van. They spotted the van on the side of the road where there's a lot of brush or whatever, and not too far from where they spotted that van on that dash cam. I think it was around August 25th, 30th, or whatever. Well, not the 30th, but somewhere around the last few days in August. I don't know the exact date, y'all, forgive me. But they spotted the van on their dash cam. When they went back to look, they saw that that was the van. And not too far from where that van was spotted was where Gabby Petito's remains were. Two, hold on, y'all, forgot. Another a TikToker had put out a TikTok video about she had picked up a hitchhiker, and she said she had brought him down to Jackson. There's like 2 Jacksons I heard yesterday. Y'all forgive me, I'm not even from this area. I'm trying to cover this because it's really interesting to me. But somewhere in Wyoming, it's 2 places called Jackson something is near airport. But anyway, she brought him down. And the authorities verified her story. So that was true, because I was saying yesterday on the video, there were people that were coming forward whose stories had not been verified yet, but her story was verified. So that is true. That happened. So, of course, y'all know FBI finance are on this. It is a very touching story. Trust me, he will be brought in. If he is still alive, trust and believe the FBI will find him. He is not going to outsmart the FBI. They're going to bring him in. They're going to find him. Number 3, how in the world he had to plan to go out there to those woods? He had to, because why would you take your car? And then, hold on, this absolutely makes no sense, y'all. From the report on Friday, when they reported him missing, I'm just thinking right now. From the report on Friday, his parents said the last time they saw him, he had on a hiking bag and a waisted belt. But you didn't mention at that moment that he drove away. And if he drove away, how in the world the news media didn't catch him? They've been camped out there for days, all in the yard. How in the world they didn't catch him? How come no one said it? Like, this is so strange. I believe wholeheartedly his parents know what happened, and they are covering for him, because of course Brian don't have no money, y'all. His parents are the one who own the business. His parents are the one who sought counsel for him. Okay? So I believe that Brian told him what he had done, and they got an attorney, and they are covering for him. I just do. My gut instinct is telling me that his parents are in on this, because what parents, this is just absurd. What parent knows their child did something to another human being, and Gabby stayed in the same home with them. They all stayed in the same home for over a year. They had some type of connection to her. And you know that her parents are looking for her, and you won't open your mouth? You won't say nothing? You invoke the 5th Amendment? Like, really? So that tell me that in itself, they know something that I'm not saying that they did anything, but they know something, and they are not saying it. And it is so frustrating. It makes me angry, because that's part of the problem. What's wrong with the world today? If your child does something, if my child, either one of them do something, if they steal, they murder, they do anything, I'm taking you to jail. Because guess what? You know better. You know better. And I'm not going to jail for you. I didn't do it. But anyway, y'all stay tuned to this case. Just hearing about what happened to her made me think of my own child. And to clear up some misinformation I had on my channel yesterday, Gabby was 22 years old. I kept saying she was 21. She was 22. And I'm going to stand by the information because I went back and watched the video. Well, I went back and watched the body cam. And Brian Laundrie, he did say that he did not have a phone. He did not say that he didn't have service. He said he did not have a phone. Yeah, I'm so invested in this case. So invested. And like I said yesterday, one of the reasons is because she was 22 years old. She reminds me of my own daughter. That could happen to any one of our children. Like, for real. My daughter was going on a date yesterday. And I was like, look, guy. I done heard about the Gabby Petito case. Don't you be like Brian Laundrie, because I will come looking for you. Think I'm playing. Mess with mine, I'm coming to look for you. Real talk. Just like, oh, mama, you crazy. Yes, I am crazy. I will come looking for you. I don't play no games. I should have been a private investigator. Real talk. But anyway, this case is sad, but it's brought out something that has been inside of me, that's been inside of me. I'm very good at researching. I'm very good about information. So I may continue to bring out certain cases, maybe certain things that I feel drawn to. I'm not going to cover everything, because everything I'm not drawn to. For some reason, I was drawn to this case. You guys stay tuned. A news media outlet is, I believe it's TV Now, Fox News or something, on YouTube. They were the first one. Well, actually, Fox News was the first one to break that they have found the remains. It's a very, very great source. So y'all stay tuned to the news media today. CNN, Fox, whatever. You can get on YouTube. You can watch different news. I watch the news on YouTube. I have cable, but I don't even watch the TV. I rather watch YouTube news. And I like, it's a guy on YouTube. He has a podcast, like a news podcast, and his name is JB. It was over almost 30,000 something people in the chat yesterday when this case broke. And what JB did was, whatever questions you would have, you just put it in the chat and he will answer the questions. And I thought it was amazing. Even the Northport Police in Florida, I believe it's in Sarasota, and I believe Sarasota is near Tampa. But the Northport Police had called into the news station. Well, it's not like a televised news station. It's an online news network, but they get a lot of traction, y'all. But the Northport Police called in and gave some questions and gave some answers to some of the questions some of the viewers were having. So it's a really good news outlet. If you don't have cable, or if you do, hey, you stop that. Tune in, I believe, oh goodness, I think it's WFLA or something like that. I might be wrong. But what I will do is I will put that, the link to their channel in my description box. So make sure you all tune in. And listen, ladies that's out there that's dating people, I just want to tell you that the signs of these people, that men that aren't good for you, the signs are there early on. They are early. They are, my nose running. The signs are there in the beginning. You have to be wise enough. You have to analyze situations. And when things happen, don't brush it off. Cut it off. Do you hear what I'm saying? The signs are there. One of the family members had came out, I believe in one of the Gabby's, one of her friends had came out and said that this was normal. They would have good times and they would have very, very bad times. Like he would go off. He had a very bad temper. Ladies, the signs are there. Pay attention. There should be no reason why someone you're dating or someone you are married to goes off on a deep end and loses control. We're not children out here. We are adulting. When you're adulting, you learn how to control your anger, even if you just have to walk away, cool off. But when you cannot control yourself, that is a major, major red flag. It is time for you to cut the strings, baby. I don't care how attached you are to somebody. Situations will escalate. They start off small and they will continue to get bigger. I guarantee as this case goes on, there are going to be people that knew both of them that come out, and they're going to tell you that certain situations happen and it escalated. Things don't go from 0 to 100. It's a gradual process, y'all. Trust me, I know. If you are in an abusive relationship, I urge you to get out of it. There are different things set up, domestic violence hotlines. There's check the places in your city. There's different safe havens. Get out of the situation, because I want to tell you, it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. Y'all have an amazing day. I will be following this case throughout the day. If you have any suggestions about things that I should cover in this channel, make sure you drop it down in the comment area. Make sure before you exit out of this video, if you made it to the last part of this video, I am asking you to hit a like on your way out. And once you hit a like, make sure you subscribe to this channel, share it so we can keep the love going, so we can keep YouTube algorithms going, so more people can view this video. Like I said, if you have any suggestions about some different topics that you want me to cover, make sure you leave it in the comment area. If you just want to say, hey Kim, I love the video, or I don't love the video, drop it down in the comment area. Let's talk about it. Y'all have an amazing, amazing day. Stay tuned to the Gabby Petito case. Make sure you keep her family, her loved ones, her friends in your prayers, because this is a very hard time. What if this was you? What if this was your family? So send some prayers up for her and pray that Brian Laundrie is brought in. Bye-bye.